So Jamaicans have been leaving Canada over the past 10 years in numbers that we have never seen before. Like, this is alarming, the amount of Jamaicans who are choosing to leave Canada and to go back home to Jamaica. And a lot of people don't know the history. Jamaicans have been in Canada for hundreds of years. It all started with the Maroons. The Maroons were relocated to Halifax in Canada. And trust me, they did not even last like 5 years. And the Maroons were then relocated to Sierra Leone, where they, set up life in Africa. And there's still a rich history of the Jamaica and the Maroons in Halifax. And there's kind of a misconception when it comes on to immigrants in Canada and the reason why people would move to Canada. And when we talk about Caribbean nationals moving to Canada, there's this like negative stereotype, like where like Caribbean people, like we're leaving war-torn countries, we're coming here as refugees, but that could not be further from the truth. A lot of Caribbean nationals that come to Canada are professionals. So in the past, I would say 50, 60 years, some of the top 1% in terms of educated Jamaicans have left Jamaica, relocated to Canada. And now in 2025, a lot of people are documenting their journey on social media, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on TikTok, wherever it is, you see a lot more people putting their personal life out there. And you see a lot of, like, it's been a trend of Jamaicans living in Canada that's been putting up like a lot of messages on social media as to why they don't think Canada is a good choice anymore for Jamaicans. So I'm going to show you one particular video of a young lady, a Jamaican living in Canada, and some of the obstacles that Jamaicans face while living in Canada.
Okay, if you pack up from foreign and go back to your yard. It's okay. It's okay if you've migrated and you decide that this is not working out. I am going back to Jamaica. Nothing is wrong with that. And we need to normalize people doing that instead of staying in a foreign country and suffer. It makes no sense for us to stay in a foreign country if we're not doing well. And doing well doesn't necessarily mean that you have a house, you have a car, you have a good job. Doing well also means that you're not coping mentally. You're just not happy. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter who you're around. You're not happy. Now, the other day, somebody told me that, somebody that we both know, that person decided to go back home. And I said, good for her. Good for her. Because if you're really not happy here, if you're not getting the kind of job that you want, you come to Canada and you just realize it doesn't matter what you try. It doesn't matter what kind of qualifications you have. You've gotten certified here in Canada. You have your qualification from back home in Jamaica. Listen, sometimes we have master's degrees and we can't get a good job over here. If you realize that you're not getting back to the status after 4 years, 5 years, the kind of lifestyle that you used to live in Jamaica, you're not able to do that in Canada or the United States, go back home. A lot of us come here and we leave house, we leave car, we left good jobs. Our kids were in private schools, the best of the best in Jamaica. And we come here and we're just not getting that standard of living. Even though you might have a job, you might, be able to buy a house, but that standard of living that you had in Jamaica, that good job that made you feel like, oh, you're actually meeting your targets and meeting your goals in terms of, your career. You have to start all over from scratch. And sometimes even after 4 or 5 years, you're still not there. Let's normalize saying, you know what? There's no shame in it. I'm going to pack up and I'm going to go back to my home country because this is not working out. It's okay. There's no shame in it. Pack up and just go back home. Nothing wrong with it. So pack up and come back home.
Okay, so that is just one of many videos that you will find online, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Instagram, of Jamaicans like videoing, like documenting their journey in Canada and pretty much warning a lot of Jamaicans that they're planning to come to Canada, why it might not be such a good idea. And there's been a misconception for Caribbean nationals coming to Canada that somehow, like, the Caribbean nationals that are here, like, we're all refugees, low educated, low income workers, and that could not be further from the truth, because since I've been here, most Caribbean nationals that I've seen coming to Canada are professional. They are in like the top 10% in their field in the Caribbean. And so a lot of Jamaicans that I've met, they're like, I've seen like doctors, nurses, accountants, like you name it, in the top of their field, engineers. And just imagine leaving your island as an engineer, as a nurse, something like a nurse where the body is the same anywhere you go in the world. It's the same, but you come to Canada and you can't do what you do in Jamaica. You have to get an extra certification and you have to pretty much start from the bottom. So some of those things are frustration that a lot of Jamaicans deal with when they come to Canada. And a lot of Jamaicans also, we are told that you come to Canada and in order to get certain job, you have to do a ESL course, like an English course, because, somehow because you have a Jamaican accent, your English is not English. And we don't see the same energy for like people from France with a thick accent. We don't see the same with people from like Ireland and different countries. So these are some of the frustrations that Jamaicans, not only Jamaicans, but like Caribbean nationals face when they try to relocate to Canada. Here at Carib 21, I'm on a mission to showcase the vibrant culture and the breathtaking beauty of the Caribbean while showcasing our culture and what is trending. If you want to support me on this mission, please subscribe. And if you also want to support, you can hit the comment section and buy me a cup of coffee. In order to buy me a cup of coffee, you can follow these instructions. Just click more. You will see the link to buy me a cup of coffee. Click the link. You can purchase 1 or 2 cups of coffee and you'll be helping me to fulfill this mission. Thank you. So as I said, over the last 10 years, a lot of Jamaicans are going back to Jamaica. And not just that, not just the hurdles that we have to face as Caribbean nationals trying to, get into the system in Canada. But even when you're in the system, even when you have a good job in Canada, a lot of Jamaicans, like the winter, the winter can be very brutal. And for most people in Canada, not just Caribbean nationals, but for most people in Canada, when it comes to February, like everybody's depressed. And, like if you come here from the Caribbean where like every day is a vibes, like just walking through your door, going outside is just like a buzz. And you have the warm weather like 24/7. Like getting used to the winter is not an easy thing. So that is another thing that, a lot of Caribbean nationals, a lot of Jamaicans, they're dealing with, because and as I said, a lot of professionals move from Jamaica to Canada. And when you go back to Jamaica now and you see all the development that is going on in Jamaica, you see the high-rise buildings, you see everything that is going on. Sometimes Jamaicans here, like for example, you're a nurse and you're in Toronto, Canada, and when you left Jamaica, like you came and you're living decent. But no, when you correspond with a nurse in Jamaica that can say, look, I can afford to purchase an apartment in Kingston, I can buy a car, and I don't have to deal with this winter, and I don't have to deal with racism, I don't have to deal with all these extra stuff that you guys have to deal with. So a lot of those reasons are why Jamaicans are going back to Jamaica. They're packing up and they're going back to Jamaica. So guys, share your experience. If you are in Canada, if you're in the United States of America, you're in the United Kingdom, and you left Jamaica and you left a good job, a decent job. You weren't like strapped for cash. You weren't one of those that didn't know where your next meal is coming from. But somehow you just wanted to leave and to experience a different life in a different country. And you're like, man, like, why did I do this? I want to go back. Sound off in the comment section and let me know. Let me know. Share your story in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. And remember, peace. I'm out.